Brave Princess Brunhilda, an 8,000-word epic fantasy tale for teenagers. By ChatGPT for Sonu Shah. Prologue. The shadow above Alderfell. The kingdom of Alderfell had always been known for its golden plains, its ancient forests, and its proud warrior kings. But none were more admired than Queen Astrid the Unbroken, mother of Princess Brunhilda. Astrid was fierce, wise, and devoted to peace, ruling with the confidence of a woman who understood both war and mercy. But the peace of Alderfell shattered on a night when the sky split open with flames. People would later say it felt like the stars themselves were falling, each leaving behind a trail of smoke that darkened the horizon. A terrible roar rippled across the fields, chilling even the bravest soldiers. Princess Brunhilda, only 16 at the time, rushed to the balcony of her tower, her long braided golden hair whipping in the stormy wind. Her emerald green eyes widened. Above the kingdom, a colossal shadow moved, enormous wings slicing the storm clouds. A dragon. No, the dragon. Vorgoth the Devourer, destroyer of 7 kingdoms, herald of ruin. The sky burned as the creature dove, releasing a torrent of black fire that ignited half the northern forest. Soldiers poured out of the barracks, horns sounded through the night, and the castle's ancient stones trembled. Brunhilda's mother didn't hesitate. Stay inside the castle grounds, Queen Astrid ordered, tightening her grip on her sword. The beast seeks me, not you. But Brunhilda had inherited her mother's stubborn bravery. I'm not a child, she protested. I can fight, I must. No, Astrid cupped her daughter's cheek. Your destiny is different from mine. One day, you will protect this land in a way even I cannot yet imagine. But tonight, I face Vorgoth alone. And before Brunhilda could stop her, before she could say one more word, the Queen of Alderfell mounted her white war mare and rode into the firelit night to face the dragon. Hours later, the sun rose on a kingdom blanketed in ash. Vorgoth had been wounded and forced to retreat. But Queen Astrid never returned. The strongest ruler Alderfell had ever known was gone. And somewhere deep inside Princess Brunhilda, a spark ignited. A spark that would soon blaze into legend. Chapter 1. The Princess WHO would not break. 3 years passed. Brunhilda was no longer a grief-stricken girl hiding in the echoing corridors of Castle Alderfell. She had trained every single day since her mother's death. Swordsmanship, strategy, horse riding, diplomacy, survival, the mystical arts preserved by the old shield maidens. She refused to let sorrow consume her. Every morning, she stood at the top of the castle battlements, staring at the charred remains of the northern forest, the place where her mother had last battled Vorgoth. I will find you, she whispered to the winds. And I will finish what mother started. Yet, danger grew. Strange creatures prowled the woods. Villagers claimed to hear whispers from beneath the earth. Allies of Alderfell began vanishing. And in the east, dark clouds formed above the Drakenspire mountains. Rumors spread like wildfire. Vorgoth was stirring again. The council urged Brunhilda to flee to safer lands. But Brunhilda stood before them in the war chamber, her navy blue cloak thrown back, her armor polished, her gaze steady. I will not run, she said. If Vorgoth rises again, Alderfell will rise to meet him. But your highness, stammered Lord Eric, an elderly noble, you are our last royal. If anything happens to you, if I do nothing, Brunhilda cut in, something will happen to all of us. Her voice echoed across the chamber. Even those who doubted her strength felt a shiver of respect. She wasn't Astrid. She was something new. Brave, clever, unyielding. Princess Brunhilda of Alderfell. Chapter 2. The Mystery of the Silver Sword. One stormy afternoon, a knight in scorched armor staggered into the courtyard. His horse collapsed. His helmet was cracked. His eyes were wild with terror. Princess, he gasped, I bring a message, from the east, from the Order of the Silver Flame. Brunhilda rushed to him. What happened? The dragon, he awakened, the knight trembled. And the Order, our sanctuary, he destroyed it. But before the master perished, he commanded me to bring you this. The knight pulled something wrapped in blood-stained cloth from his satchel. A sword. Its blade shimmered like moonlight reflected on water. Strange runes ran along its edge, glowing pale silver. Brunhilda reached out, her fingers brushing the hilt, and instantly, warmth flooded through her arm, spreading into her chest. The runes flared. "What is this?" she whispered. "The silver sword of Astrid," the knight rasped. "Forged by the last dwarven smiths. Your mother carried it the night she faced Vorgoth. It is bound to your bloodline. And now, it belongs to you." Brunhilda felt tears sting her eyes. Her mother's sword. A piece of her. A responsibility. A destiny. But before she could speak, the knight collapsed, dead. She stood there, clutching the sword, feeling its power hum like a heartbeat. In the sky above the castle, thunder cracked, as though the world itself were acknowledging that a new warrior had risen. Chapter 3, The Quest Begins. Brunhilda called for her closest allies. Sir Rowan, her childhood friend and the finest archer in the kingdom. Kayla, a mysterious healer from the southern desert tribes. Dane, a blacksmith's apprentice with surprising strength, and even more surprising secrets. They entered the war chamber, where the silver sword rested on a stone pedestal. "We ride to the Drakenspire Mountains," Brunhilda declared. "We must find the Dragonstone, the only relic said to weaken Vorgoth." Rowan looked worried. "No one who enters Drakenspire returns." Kayla nodded. "The mountains are cursed. The air itself whispers lies." Dane crossed his arms. "Then let it whisper. I'm not afraid." Brunhilda smiled faintly. "Good. I will need all your courage." The council tried again to stop her, but Brunhilda had made up her mind. The next dawn, the four set out from Alderfell on horseback, riding across golden plains and shadowed forests. Brunhilda carried her mother's sword on her back, its runes glowing whenever danger approached. And danger approached often. They fought goblin raiders, escaped collapsing ruins, saved a village from a pack of shadow wolves. Slowly, Brunhilda's legend began to spread. The brave princess of Alderfell. The girl who hunted dragons. The future queen who would not break. Chapter 4, The Cursed Village. After weeks of travel, the group reached a village at the foot of Drakenspire. But instead of life, they found silence. Doors hung open, food lay abandoned, footprints led into the fields and suddenly stopped, as if people had vanished mid-step. "What happened here?" Rowan whispered. Brunhilda felt the silver sword vibrate. Kayla knelt beside a pile of ashes. This was once a person." Dane paled. "Burned." "No." Kayla shook her head, turned to ash from within. A cold wind swept through the village. Then, a whisper, multiple, overlapping, disembodied. Turn back, turn back." Brunhilda raised her sword. "Show yourself." The shadows shifted. A tall, gaunt man stepped from the darkness, wrapped in a cloak of feathers. His eyes were pale and ancient. "I am Eldrin the Raven Seer," he said. "And you, Princess Brunhilda, have stepped into a trap laid by the dragon himself. Where are the villagers?" she demanded. "Taken by Vorgoth's corruption," Eldrin replied. "He drains their life to rebuild his strength." Brunhilda's jaw tightened. "Then tell me how to stop him." The seer studied her silently. "There is a prophecy," he murmured. "One the dragon fears. Tell me." "Very well." The seer lifted his staff. The clouds thickened above them. "A daughter of the unbroken line, wielding silver light, will pierce the shadows of the devourer. But only if she pays the greatest price." Brunhilda swallowed. "What price?" But the seer only turned away. "You will know when the time comes." The moment they blinked, he vanished. Chapter 5, Ascent of the Drakenspire. The Drakenspire Mountains rose like jagged fangs, cutting into the sky. The group began their ascent, climbing narrow ledges, crossing rope bridges that swayed in the wind, and navigating tunnels filled with glowing crystals. As they climbed higher, Brunhilda felt the air grow heavier, pressing against her lungs. Then she heard it, a roar, distant, but unmistakable. "Vorgoth," she whispered. Night fell. The group set up camp inside a shallow cave. Brunhilda lay awake, staring at the silver sword. "I'm coming for you, mother," she whispered. "I will make you proud." But then, a deep, ancient voice echoed through her mind. "Child of Astrid, I have been waiting for you." Brunhilda bolted upright, cold sweat dripping down her neck. Did you hear that?" she asked Rowan, who sat watched by the fire. "Hear what?" Brunhilda gripped her mother's sword tighter. The dragon was calling to her, and the real battle had not even begun. Chapter 6, The Dragonstone. At dawn, they reached the mouth of a colossal cavern carved into the mountain. Kayla gasped. "This is it, the chamber of the Dragonstone." Inside, glowing veins of gold ran through the walls. The air pulsed with ancient magic. At the center of the cavern floated a massive crystal, the Dragonstone, radiating crimson light. But guarding it, a creature of pure shadow. A wyrm-spawn of Vorgoth. It lunged at them with a shriek. Rowan fired arrows. Dane swung a hammer. Kayla cast protective wards. But nothing stopped the beast. Until Brunhilda stepped forward. She lifted the silver sword, and the blade erupted with white-hot light. The wyrm-spawn recoiled, screaming. Brunhilda charged, dodging its claws, sliding beneath its leg, and slicing through its heart. The creature dissolved into a puff of black smoke. Breathless, Brunhilda approached the Dragonstone. She placed her hand on its surface. Pain exploded in her arm, racing through her chest. Her vision blurred. Rowan shouted her name, but his voice sounded far away. The Dragonstone had chosen her. Its power poured into her, filling her with fire and ice and thunder. Images flashed in her mind. Her mother fighting Vorgoth, the dragon's lair, a hidden truth, a terrible price. Then everything went dark. Chapter 7, A Secret Revealed. Brunhilda awoke in the cave, her friends hovering over her. "Are you all right?" Kayla asked. Brunhilda sat up slowly. I saw something." "What?" Rowan asked. "The truth about my mother's final battle." She swallowed hard. "She didn't die fighting the dragon." "What do you mean?" Dane asked. "She was taken." Kayla paled. "Taken by Vorgoth." Brunhilda nodded silently. "She's still alive, held prisoner in the dragon's lair." Shock rippled through the group. Rowan whispered, "Then our mission has changed." Brunhilda rose to her feet, determination blazing in her eyes. "Yes," she said, "now we save my mother." Her voice echoed, and the mountain echoed back. Chapter 8, The Dragon's Lair. The path to Vorgoth's lair led deep into the heart of the mountain. Lava rivers flowed beside them, casting eerie orange light over the jagged rock. The silver sword's glow intensified with every step. Finally, they reached a colossal chamber glowing red with fire. And there, chained to a stone pillar, "Mother," Brunhilda whispered. Queen Astrid looked frail, exhausted, but alive. Her eyes opened slowly. "Brunhilda," she whispered, "my child." But before they could reach her, a deafening roar shook the chamber. Vorgoth descended from above, wings unfurling, scales black as night, eyes burning like suns. Rowan stumbled back. "He's enormous." The dragon's voice thundered. "You dare return, child of Astrid? You dare challenge me?" Brunhilda stepped forward. "Yes," she said, "I do." Vorgoth laughed, a sound like boulders cracking. "Then face your destiny. Face the devourer." And the final battle began. Chapter 9, Fire Against Silver. Rowan shot arrows that shattered against the dragon's scales. Kayla cast protective wards that flickered under the heat of black flames. Dane swung his hammer but was knocked across the chamber. And Brunhilda leapt. The silver sword blazed. She slashed at Vorgoth's snout, leaving a streak of burning silver across his scales. The dragon roared in fury. "You carry Astrid's blade, but you are not Astrid. I am Brunhilda," she shouted, "daughter of the Unbroken." She dodged flames, sprinted across falling rocks, climbed onto the dragon's back, and plunged the sword between his scales. Vorgoth thrashed, slamming into the cavern walls. Rowan yelled, "Brunhilda, jump," but she held on, "not until he falls." The dragon spiraled toward a lava pit, but before he crashed, he threw Brunhilda off his back. She slammed into the ground, gasping. The silver sword clattered out of reach. Vorgoth towered over her. The prophecy spoke of a price. "Are you ready to pay it?" Brunhilda crawled toward the sword. Her mother's voice cried out, "Brunhilda, no." But Brunhilda knew what she had to do. She grabbed the sword, and drove it into her own chest. A blinding burst of silver light exploded outward, engulfing the chamber. Her friends screamed her name. Vorgoth shrieked in agony, and the mountain began to collapse. Chapter 10, The Price of Light. Light, burning, radiant, endless. Brunhilda floated in a void of silver fire. She heard a voice, her mother's voice. "Brunhilda, why?" Brunhilda whispered, "Because the prophecy said the daughter of the unbroken line would pierce the devourer's darkness. But only if she paid the greatest price. You gave your life." Astrid's voice trembled. "I gave my light," Brunhilda corrected. "My strength, but not my life." Because around her, Brunhilda began to glow. Her wounds closed, her spirit pulsed, the dragonstone's power surged within her, knitting her body back together. A new voice echoed, "Child of Silver, you have fulfilled the ancient bond. Rise." Light wrapped around her like a cocoon. And then, she opened her eyes. Chapter 11, Rebirth of the Brave. Brunhilda lay on the cavern floor. Alive. Rowan stared. You died." Kayla sobbed with relief. "And then you came back." Dane whispered, "You were chosen by the Dragonstone." Brunhilda stood slowly. Vorgoth lay motionless, his body dissolving into mist. The dragon was defeated. Queen Astrid rushed forward and embraced her daughter. "You saved me," she whispered. "You saved us all." Brunhilda smiled, tears streaming down her face. "No," she said softly. "We saved each other." The cavern collapsed behind them as they escaped into the morning sunlight. A new dawn for Alderfell. A new era. A new legend. Princess Brunhilda, no longer just the daughter of a queen, but a hero, a savior, a warrior of silver light. Epilogue. The legend lives on. Word spread across the kingdoms. The brave princess who defeated the devourer. The silver-blooded warrior reborn in light. The future queen of Alderfell, destined to unite the lands. Songs were written about her. Statues raised. Children named after her bravery. But Brunhilda herself knew the truth. The world was still full of darkness. Full of creatures, tyrants, and ancient evils waiting in the shadows. And that meant her story was only just beginning. She stood on the battlements where her mother had once stood. Her silver sword glowed at her side. The wind brushed against her braids. And she whispered, "I am Brunhilda of Alderfell. I am unbroken, and I am ready for whatever comes next."